Okay, we should be good, I think. On a Sunday morning, we should be good. Alright, I got something for the viewers. You know me, I'm going to put something out. Oh, by the way, hello viewers. Mornings. Another beautiful day. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good or excellent. Yep. Alright, what I got for you? Oh, we talking about you wine lovers. Listen to this. Wine 10.9 released with EGL support for all graphics drivers. Wine 10.9 fell slightly off its bi-weekly Friday release rhythm, with only debuting today, but in an event it's now available for testing with the latest features for enjoying Windows games, application on Linux and others. Wine 10.9 pulls in recently released VKD3D 1.16 and with all of its features in the Direct3D 12 API top Vulkan. Wine 10.9 also enables EGL windowing, system library, support for all graphics drivers, plus Wine 10.9 is rounded out by initial support for generating windows in runtime, metadata in WIDL, and compiler-based exceptions, handling using the LLVM Clang compiler. With Wine 10.9 has 34 known bug fixes that help out software from Heavy Metal Pro to 3D Pinball, Microsoft Office 2010, Steam, Geekbench 6, and other games and apps. All of the detail on the just released Wine.10.9 can be found via wine.org. Yeah. What's up, Phoronix? Alright, let me see what they're talking about here on this VKD3D. Uh-oh. Let me see. That's what they're talking about here. Well, I think I did this too. When was this release? This was back in May 20th. Yeah. I think I did that one. I remember this. But I could go over it. It says here, and then I'll go back in and read the updates. And I'll read the updates for this one. But anyway, Wine. It says Wine VKD3D 1.16 release with DXIL shader support. Says VKD3D 1.16 was released today by Wine/CodeWeaver developer as this upstream Direct 3D 12 over Vulkan API implements used by Wine for running D3D12 Windows games / application on Linux. With the VKD3D 1.16 Direct 3D to Vulkan translation library, there is now support for DirectX immediate language DXIL shaders, and separately is also having initial support for geometry shaders. And within the HLSL compiler, DXIL shaders were previously an experimental feature within the VKD3D. That it says support for DirectX immediate language DXIL shaders, initial support for geometry shaders in the HLSL compiler, miscellaneous bug fixes. VKD3D 1.16 also adds HLSL features, experimental fix built-in support for disassembling SPIR-V shaders. New experimental GLSL and Metal SL features and various fixes. And then it says download and more details on VKD3D 1.16 release via wine.org. Now, let's see what they're talking about here. What did they do? Let's see what they do here. What did they do? Okay, let's see. They had what did they do here? Let's see. They had initial support for geometry shaders, indirect addressing in shader model 1 through 3 target profile, modulus truncation operation in shader models 1 to 3 target, vectorized output code, future improved constant folding and propagation following intrinsic function are supported. All memory barrier, quote, all memory barrier with group sync, quoting, again, the device memory barrier, and then device memory barrier with group SPI sync, and then group memory barrier, and then it says group memory barrier when group sync. Yeah. Then it says the length texture object property, the SV render target array index, and then it has two quotes, and then SV viewport array index, semantic tessellation shaders. Yeah, wine for you. Anyway, let me keep going here. What they have here, they got the disassembler support for binary FX2.effect, experimental built-in support for disassembling SPIR-V shaders by building VKD3D with DVK-D3D shader, unsupported SPIR-V pre-processor option when enabled. The built-in SPIR-V disassemble is used instead of SPIR-V tools for the SPIR-V text type, as well as for the debug output enabled for the VKD3D space shader space debug environment. Yeah, they put some work into this one, that's for sure. Says here, what did they do? They got demos. They have changes. I mean, they have demos and they have builds. So yeah, a lot of updates for you wine lovers. Now, what else they got here? What's they got on this? They got the experimental OpenGL shading language, GLSL target support indirect addressing of constant buffer. The experimental metal shading language, MSL target support shader loads new interface, and then you have the VKD3D shader updates for like 64-bit, 16-bit. Yeah, they did a lot of work on this. They said this in the demo build, though. They said the VKD3D demo now works on both Microsoft Windows and Apple macOS builds. The macOS version of the VKD3D demos are completely new with VKD3D 1.16 while the Windows demo could previously be built but only worked on Wine. Note that the VKD3D demos produced by Windows built for VKD3D are distinct from those produced by the Make Cross test target. The former are Vulkan application using VKD3D Wine. Latter are Direct 3D 12 application. The VKD3D demos have basic support for DPI scaling. You Linux and Steam Deck and Linux and Steam OS users, you're spoiled. Anyway, it says here build Perl on JSON. Perl module have been added as a build dependencies. These are used for the experimental build in SPIR-V disassembly as well as the Mac OS version of VKD3D demos. Yeah, you guys are spoiled. Anyway, what I got? Sitting here messing with y'all. We got, of course, we got two comments. What do we got here? Two comments, and then who is this? Minnie said this. Does this mean VKD3D might allow usage of DXIL? No translate? Question mark. No translation needed? Question mark. And then Merle said this. It's always needed to translate things into SPIR-V. ID assume, i.e. it's not VKD3D responsibility to handle any lower level of GPU code. Yeah, anyway, yeah, these guys know their stuff. Alright, now, back to the main menu here. What do we got? We got 3 comments on this one. 3 comments on this one. But let me go to wine.org real quick. See what they got on it. See what they did to this. To 10.9. What a list. Yeah. You guys got a list. You got a list, alright. Let's see what they did here. They did the bundled VKD3D upgrade to version 1.16, initial support for generating Windows runtime metadata in WIDL, support for compiler based exception handling with Clang, EGL, library support available to all, graphics driver, various bug fixes. Says here the source is available at, okay, I'll leave the link. Binary package for various distribution will be available from the respective download sites. You'll find the documentation here. And it says wine is available thanks to the work of many people. Okay, alright. Let's see what they did here. They got let's see, code block for 8.02 IDE. Some toolbar strips are too long. Wine does not print in new allocated console window using alloc console. And then, you know, those are those two signs. Anyway, it says here no MIDI music in Lonix. 3D pinball Space Cadet full screen does not work properly. Toolbar button can be activated without a proper click. Empire Earth 1X display artifacts. Microsoft Office 2010. Windows 7 crash. Wine server used a full CPU core with Ableton Live 10.0.6 and a custom Wine version. In.exe needs kernel 32.dll find first file name W. Get that out of the way. Anyway, says here what else we got? Implementation of WS double spill path and _S required for the Legend of Heroes Tales of Cold Steel property quote size from Win32 logical disk drive what's this bogus result partially invisible URL in turn flash about window EA app launcher problem with text display Dyson Spree program Steam while artifacts on open scenes Dyson Spree program Steam mouse ignores if sync windows Kerberos authentication stop to work after PE WID app 32 conversion NT Curia system information system process information result misaligned no timeout command the 32-bit dmusic fails in 64-bit wine prefix. And what else we got here? It says here can't install Photoshop CS6 through Wine. Steam GPU process crash loop with 64-bit Wine prefix. Toolbar control does forward WM notify to its original parent artifact 7-zip file manager. Sega Rally Championship demo crash at startup if direct 3D/render set to GDI. Calling IPHI PAPI get get IPNet table with a large number of network interface present crashes Wine built-in NSI proxy service and the Safe House Dairies demo crash in D3DX _ initial _ image _ from _ wick with unsupported pixel format. And then it has gigapixel is no longer start at 8.3.3 and PL SQL developer all system memory eaten. And the Journeyman Project 3 doesn't work in virtual desktop mode. Yeah, these guys are working. Let's see what we got here. Geekbench 6 crashes at start. Player 2 crashes. build regressions in Wine 10.7 using Clang and ARC64. What's this? Error in back end. Invalid register name X1B, and that's in quotes. And then it says Crystal of what's this? Atlan. Hard crash after server selection. Yeah, and those are all the updates for wines that they were working on. Now, who all worked on this? Let's see: Adam, Alex, Alexandri, Alfred, Bernard. Let's see: Brendan, Charlotte, Connor, Daniel, David, Dimitri, Elizabeth. Yeah, they worked on this. Let's see: Eric, Esme, Gabrielle, Hanan. Who's this? Is it Hugh, Cabin or Jasek. Who's this? Gino, Lewis, Makarenko, Michael, or was that Michelle? Muhammad, Nicole, who is this? Let me see, Paniotis, Paul, who is this? Cabin, Remy, who is this? Santino, Stevens, who is this? I say Panth, Shu, who is this? Zhang, and yeah. Those are the developers. So yeah, that was a big list on Wine, though, that's for sure. So yeah, these Wine developers, they're working. So you know, this shows how much work that these developers they put into the project. You know, and it takes a group effort to to get this program running, especially when you're dealing with running software from different platforms. You know, so yeah, but good for them. So this 10.9 should help you out for the time being until the next one. Now we got 3 comments. Let's see what the debaters got here. We got 3 comments. Let's see. Who is this? Penguin PC said this Wine version in my case still have D3, D7 games still remain on playable performance. I have some hopes because in this version them add this EGL library support available to all graphics driver, but in practice, and then he shows I think he shows Resident Evil 3 here. And then who is this? Callie said this. He says he put down Wine 10.9 also enables EGL Windows system library support for all graphics drivers. He says, what kind of effect does this have? I thought EGL support has been there for ages. And I don't think I think they just improved it. That's all they just did with EGL. If it's been there, if it's been there already. Now, who is this? Vital said this. He says, for Linux users, this means for both X11 and Wayland drivers and Android 2, at least Control plus F on the changelog page with EGL shows that. And he's responding to Kelly Gula, the comment that I just read. So yeah. Other than that, yeah, another update. But I'm sure the developers are going to read what the commenter says on Phoronix and see what they can fix. So if this is 10.9, then 10.7 or 9? This is 10.9. So when 10.10 come out, they should be responding to the commenter's question, because they do read these articles themselves too, so yeah, to see what people think, so yeah. So another wine update for you wine users. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this video for y'all to enjoy though. Nice talking to you people again. Crystal, Star Wars, such a thing. Borg, Dark Side. Go. Peace.